Two juggernauts of teams here from the EU region going to be going at it. That is going to be on the top side. Nouns Esports, at least mostly. Only one I'm not sure is Bubo TV. Have I been out of the game too long? X-Blaine coaching but playing. So let's just call them Nouns. And on the bottom there is going to be Zephyr Esports. So ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be, once again, EU supremacy today. But we are also going to be seeing Clefable to start with, but Clefable on both of these teams right here. So we're going from the perspective of Nouns over here on the purple squad. Zephyr on orange, ladies and gentlemen. This match has begun. GYZ going to be holding down our Clefable. Right now, actually, here in the central area, I believe just doing the damage for Gatlu, who's using the Dodrio. Also, insane player. All of these players on both of these teams right there. So yeah, we can confirm with the Escavalier. Good teamwork because you're just going to do enough damage to allow Dodrio, who really does need that farm early on. And so those wild Pokemon, sweet experience for that Dodrio. So here we go. Early on, going to be scoring. And both teams really going at it from 2 to 4. And an early takedown, actually. GYZ KO'd right out of here on this top path in Thea Sky Ruins. Zephyr actually having members that this would have been in the most earliest of days of Pokemon Unite and this channel, because I was the father of the Unite casting scene. And look at this. Now Absol just going down at the most, I would probably say, one of the worst timings for Nouns wanting that to happen or not, because now GYZ will just be overwhelmed. And then once again going down just before their teammates will get there is Gatlu showing up after the fact. Luckily still surviving here on this top path, but there certainly was a major push there from Zephyr. But like I said, it was the early days. Spectated a top Cinderace player, we could say, but it was one of the Zephyr members. And notice it's Dodrio on Dodrio right there for the top path. And so right now Zephyr has yet another opening on that top. So that T1 goal there on the top path, already 18 out of 80. Nevorix repping with Azumarill, and look at the Hollowware, just delicious, ladies and gentlemen, as they should. GYZ just needs this one hit, but cannot get it, still being obstructed. When you've got these walls of Snorlax, you also have Azumarill, certainly two tanky brutes, and a wonderful opportunity to edge out GYZ from getting that experience needed. So we'll probably be looking forward to that pretty soon. We're also seeing that purple squad right now with 39 to 75. This is where it's going to happen. There we go, 39 to 75. It looks a little bit higher than maybe it is this early on. Good job on Zephyr's part. Obviously, both of these teams way still in this. We've only had 2 minutes elapsed right here, and we're in that central area, right around where the legendary pit is. And you notice there's quite the team fight. It's not both teams entirely. So GYZ dropping so low, but also gonna be bringing that payback right here to the Azumarill, and then GYZ gonna drop out with that Clefable. Bubo as that lone Mr. Mom, just waiting for the rest of Nouns to get down here to the bottom. And here on that bottom path, they can make a lot of this destruction. So Adesu coming in with Mew on that KO streak of 2, feeling good, but Gatlu gonna secure this one right here for another KO streak of 2 for the side of Nouns. And just like that, the 1-2-1-2 switch, you have a score of 71 to 97. Both teams looking solid so far, so I think that this promises to be as great a match as you would think, having once again these two juggernaut of teams from the EU region. And so Nevorix once again dropping low because of X-Blaine, but there we go. It's going to be Snorlax with the heavy slam initiate, bring it down just rapidly with the help of Azumarill, of course, as well. And it looked like it was maybe going for Nouns to secure KO, but no, that will be Nouns with an unfortunate result for them. But notice we're going to go ahead and X-speed on over here. GYZ maybe score in this 10. That is going to look nice, but it's not going to be probably that delicious score advantage that we saw right there from Orange here on this top path. Still, Zephyr is rocking it. And so there's the Moonlight down. You see it with the gravity oftentimes, and so we're presuming at this point GYZ has played that, but notice it's just going to be brought down so devastating right here. And so we'll obviously be trying to Moonlight out of that one. But hey, I think the night has fallen, unfortunately, on GYZ yet again. This Nouns team strong, obviously amazing, did really well in Worlds, making it to that grand finals. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to see that Zephyr is definitely putting up that fight. When you look at the score, this one is still very close. Regieleki now secured by that orange squad Zephyr, and Gatlu's just trying to tear apart this Mew. Unfortunately for Gatlu, Reito will be coming on in with a Dodrio of their own, and that is some might, really some might that you can only see with 3 heads, perhaps. All right, Regieleki trying to touch down. There is a little bit of a resistance, but obviously Zephyr is trying to just quell that resistance, and so it will be squashed right here a little bit at least when you can bring down one. And we do actually have the Beautimus. It was Clefable with Wonder Wish. That is the Unite move, and pulling off Fly, actually dive bombing for that damage. And so ladies and gentlemen, now at least Nouns able to kind of make this pushback happen, and let's see what they can do with it from a score standpoint as well, and just overall getting experience. These teams really neck and neck, but you can notice obviously the central area players, for instance. You look at Dodrio on both of these squads just now evening up as we're saying this. Gatlu now going to be level 11. Notice the skirmish here on the top path. We obviously have one for each team down on the bottom, but here it is, that major team fight with the showtime down, and a lot of those Unite moves are going to fly, and Galu waiting for that sprint gauge to fill up. That's when you poke at them with those 3 heads. But notice what the rest of the team did. Zephyr brilliantly actually pulling back at that moment, maybe to look to pull off Gatlu, but no, Gatlu, speaking of pulling off, will go ahead and take these KOs, and then along with Mr. Mime right here for Nouns, they will bring Zephyr down. At least 2 of the members right here on this top path. That was an important skirmish, as this will now lead to some points. Just like that, Nouns able to turn this game around by score, and so look at this, bringing down Harai, that Clefable for Zephyr. Gatlu actually in a little bit of trouble, though. You are slightly squishy, of course, with that bird. With that speed, with some of that power is going to come that squishiness, but hey, we got our sprint meter back up. Gatlu looking to maybe evade this, but I noticed that there's a lot of people. Yes, there it is. It's going to be Mew. Just brutal, the beaming, and then Reito coming in with the KO. That will be secured right there. Gatlu brought down. This has got to be painful. If you're these are some great, amazing players on Nouns. Really, this Zephyr team also comprised of such amazing players, making it look like they can just drop them so easily. Look at that, GYZ down yet again. And when you look at it now, we're just about to be at that 4 minutes on the clock here for this game. It is still just amazingly close. It's aggressively close, this game, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what you're going to need. Whichever team is going to be aggressive, sure, it's going to pull off some of those KOs early on, but then when that final stretch hits and all point values are doubled, they might just have to rely a little bit more on that strategy. It may not be about overly aggressing the other team, because notice that these levels are just so even. That's where our skill as individuals, that's where our skill as a team, it'll come into play. In micro, macro, you have it. Look at this KO streak of 2, and then X-Blame brought down, but notice GYZ dropping down extremely low again, but will somehow make it out of this. The triple trample is coming in right there, and then Dodrio so close, but that Moonlight trying to heal up and recover. No, the KO streak of 3. Look at this. It's going to be Mew for Zephyr, bringing him down. KO streak of 4. Galu is out of there, and that leaves Adesu right here from Nouns, the only one to go ahead and try to contest this Regieleki. Push it back. You do not want it to touch down right here. That's some pressure I know that they don't want to be looking at, but notice, of course, most of Zephyr is actually down, concentrating on this bottom path. So that's what this advantage can give them, because that Regieleki is now distracting, at least pulling away Mew. You could notice that it maybe pulled away some other members earlier on from Nouns, and so that's an advantage where if you're Zephyr Esports, you can see that they've taken this score actually ahead once again for being in their favor. And so you can see we're struggling to keep up. That's actually not really a bad thing. That's going to be from the perspective of Nouns right here, as we are spectating them as the purple squad. It's right here. Notice the stuns, but this Zephyr team, they've just been playing so tight. Look at Claysix right here as this Snorlax. Wonderful job. That's just such an amazing display of what a defender should do. Tanking the hits, but also with that block, able to just kind of pull off one. If you can take out one of Nouns, then you've just already got that advantage, because these levels, like we said, are so even that if you pull off one, just kind of pick them off like the weak wildebeest in the herd. And notice Gatlu, this is just disgusting. And we are seeing a lot of full pockets on both of these teams with only about 20 seconds until that final stretch. And so you know what that means. The Hundo Duncan could be getting knocked in there. Snorlax is out of there. That's definitely going to be important. Very key KO, but it does allow them actually enough time to get back for that final stretch and that Rayquaza fight. Regirock going to probably go down. Yes, to Nouns right here will secure that left side team defense, special defense, just before entering into that Rayquaza fight. That is going to help. Maybe just edge it slightly in their favor here. Bubo going to be attacking that tall grass. You can often bet somebody might be hiding in there. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. 2 minutes left in this game. It's the final stretch. These teams have been absolutely amazing. Notice X-Blame trying to score down here, interrupted by Reito, pulling off the Midnight Slash and then just getting brutalized, and Reito at full health still. This is just absolutely wild, that power of that Dodrio. And here we go. This is going to be one of the team fights. They are all going to be deploying those Unite moves, going to be deploying some of the Solar Beam. This is where you try to keep your eyes on all the action. Notice Zephyr, I think, making the push, making the case also that they can win this game against such a top team here in Pokemon Unite's entire scene, but definitely in the EU scene. And so look at that. We are going to get that KO secured. It's going to be one and done right there. Adesu able to just secure these all game, and it looks like right now, if that's any indicator, you can see actually X-Blame is that Absol maybe making a push around, but will actually kind of come back towards the legendary pit, seeing that the rest of the team is as well. So Zephyr and Nouns also, they are all going to be pursuing that right here. And so about a minute left on the clock. Somebody's got to make something happen. They may not even need Cousin Ray Ray, but look at that. These are all crucial KOs to go up against Zephyr, who are still pushing, still in this fight. But really, like I said, with all point values doubled, really just GYZ needs to score just somebody, even with the lower point values. Maybe you get your Dodrio in there with those 3 heads, scoring them one at a time, and you can just end it early. Look at this. But no, they will actually decide. Nouns is going to go ahead and converge in on this Rayquaza, so Cousin Ray Ray dropping down way low, and that is going to be left side team. They get the shield, get the scoring effect, and so go for for those goals, ladies and gentlemen. Those goals going to be secured by Nouns right here. Yes, on this bottom path right there. And then the GG, my friends. That is the buzzer. This game is now over. We'll get you that final score result, but just remember, of course, with that surrender, it is going to look like one team was actually the loser, even though they were the winner. So yes, Nouns with that 179 to 207, but with the white flag and the GG, Nouns is going to be your winner in such a hard-fought fight. Ladies and gentlemen, absolutely wonderful display and showing us a little bit of what Clefable can do, but still, I would say even kind of new on the scene, just, recently at the time of this recording, just now becoming available by coins. And so, really, it was all about that teamwork on both these squads. Look at that. We didn't see any hundo dunking, but not really any one player on either team making up the majority of the points. But notice on the damage, it's Drio, friends, the damage dealt. Beautifully done, both teams. Go ahead and click an end screen on screen to see another video, and thanks for viewing.